Hi, my good people. Welcome to our fourth episode of Finance for Families podcast. I'm your host, Linda Mack. I like to think of myself as that fire that is igniting those much needed family conversations on finances. Now, on our previous podcast, we focused on couples. We got to define couples according to Linda Mack's dictionary. And we talked on the when and how to talk about money so that both parties in the relationship can benefit. There's so much to learn. So for the couples out there, do have a listen on the episode. If you're in a relationship and you're wondering when and how do we talk about money, well, have a listen. Better yet, have a listen with your significant other. And you can let it be your conversation starter. Yeah. Thank me later. Today we want to go way back. We want to talk money with the people in our lives who are from way, way back. Talk to them now. Anyway, I'm joking. I know if they were here close to me and they had me saying they're from way, way back, they'd be trying to pull my ears. Yeah. But yeah, we want to talk about talking money with our aging parents. Yeah. And today we will repeat how important it is to have this conversation with our parents. Because if we are thinking about having this conversation with them, that means they are still with us. We can have answers to questions that we have. We can get clarifications to issues that we need clarified, compared to waiting when they're already gone and their issues, their financial issues to be sorted, but there's no one to ask. Yeah. So in as much as, yes, we agree, it's a difficult conversation to have. And why are we saying it's difficult? Think one, if you're coming from an African home, growing up, most of us, it was to listen. You're not to give opinions, you're not to give recommendations. Yeah. And it takes time for your parents to start looking at you as an adult worthy of meaningful conversations, of opinions, of making recommendations, irrespective of how many degrees, how many qualifications you have, or the kind of thought leader you are believed to be out there. To our parents, we are still children. Yeah. And especially when it comes to, let's talk about money, about health, yeah? It takes time for them to be able to accept that, yes, your children also grow up and they are worthy to be listened to. But let's be persistent. Let's be consistent, of course, in a respectful way, because, yeah, they're still parents. And yes, we will get these conversations flowing, yeah? So talking of conversations, for me, there are two key conversations that we need to start and keep having with our aging parents. One, conversations around their physical health, yeah? Because, of course, as you age, your physical strength is not the same as when you were young. And we, as the children, also have to keep up with how aging is affecting their physical being, yeah? Are there things that maybe they were able to do 2-3 months before, but now they're having difficulty doing? And how are they? How's their medical conditions and all that? Do they need checkups and that? When you get information, when you get updated on their physical health, then you also get to figure out things like, do they need help around the home? If you live far away from them, then how often do we now need to arrange for medical checkups and, also get yourself then ready financially to be able to cater for these expenses, yeah? So physical health, have conversations around their physical health. Second conversation to make sure we are having is on their financial health, yeah? What are their current expenses and how are these expenses being catered for? Yeah. Do they have any retirement benefits? And what's the current stand in terms of the investments? Do they have any investments? Do they have, are they receiving their full benefits from the investments? If they had invested in a bond, are they getting their coupon? If they had bought some stocks, are they getting their dividends? If they own property, are they getting rent from these properties? all these things, we need to be able, you don't have to be the one of, managing and all that, but you need to have a good understanding of what is happening financially with the aging parents. Yeah. And remember, the earlier we have a better understanding of especially these two key issues, the physical health and the financial health, the more likely we are also able to align ourselves both mentally and physically, yeah, to prepare ourselves. Take, for example, if we are not aware and we don't deal with issues such as, they can't be able to lift stuff anymore, they are far away from us. And most of the time, our aging parents don't want, they feel like, oh, there's a lot. My children are going through a lot. I don't want to start calling them and telling them, oh, now I know I'm finding it so hard to lift this pot, to put it here, or doing 1, 2, 3 stuff. So they'll keep trying to be able to do it so they don't, nag you at all. Then what happens, because we are not aware, they are likely to end up having accidents. And so we get stuck with not just escalated medical bills, but also the risk of loss. Yeah. Meanwhile, if we were aware and we'd said, okay, so this is happening, we accept it, let's see, how do we deal with it? Maybe we need to get them help around the home. And so we make arrangements for that. And this kind of helps to keep them off situations that will have us rushing to hospitals, being, in the emergency centers, and avoid all those near-death experiences. Yeah. So 2 key issues. Please make sure conversations we're having, conversations about physical health, conversations about financial health. Now, yes, we agree. Both are very, very tough conversations to start, let alone keep having that, but they need to happen. So some of the considerations I feel like will help to ease us into starting and keeping these conversations flowing with the dads, with our parents out there is one, timing. Yeah. Timing, test out the conversation first. Yeah, pick a time that when they are relaxed. Then start dropping hints. Plant that seed. Let them start thinking about it and all that, so that when you now feel like this is the right time to have that full conversation, then you had already planted that seed. It's already started blooming, and the conversation sort of like starts now flowing a bit better compared to just dropping it as a bombshell just once like that. So drop hints here and there during those conversations you're having, pick something they mention to you and plant a seed where it's important for us to know how you're faring physically, how you fare, how your finances are, and all that. Yeah. Secondly, I think be sensitive to their feelings. It's not easy. We can only imagine. It's not easy to accept that you're growing older and most of the things you used to do for yourself, now you're having to have to ask for help. Yeah. It's not easy. And it will be hard for them to also accept. So be empathetical and be reassuring that we want to have these conversations for the benefit of you and us as a family, and not because we are out here thinking that, oh yeah, well, my mom or dad is just old now, they're going senile or something. Yeah. So be sensitive to their feelings as well. Then I think third is be specific. Explain clearly why we need to have these conversations around finances and why having it now is the best. Yeah. If you beat around the bush too much, your aging parents can start thinking maybe you're just interested in knowing how much money they have if you have an inheritance. Yeah. Let them know the discussion is on how best to cater to their physical and financial needs now, and plan for future financial obligations, and not because you want to know which of the properties or investments have the best returns, so that you can ask for that as your inheritance. Focus on the goal and get them to see your focus is for their benefit, and in so doing, you'll get them to focus too. Yeah. So you've said, to help ease the process of starting the conversation, one, timing, pick appropriate times to drop hints, and then, that will also give you a guide on the best time to have that full conversation around getting to understand their physical health and their financial health. Yeah. Secondly, be sensitive, be empathetic of their situation. Yeah. No one wants to think that they're not able to do what they used to do. Reassure them that you're there to help and not to take over. Yeah, it doesn't mean now there's nothing that they're good at. You're just there to help. Third is be specific. The goal is to get them to manage their finances, to help manage their physical health, and for you to be well informed so that we can all be prepared for any emergencies that may arise. Yeah, and not because you want to know if you have an inheritance. So you get them to focus on the goal. Mm. So yeah, but now then that we are aware of these three factors, yeah, that we're taking them into consideration, and we're like, okay, now we have gotten the right time. We understand. We'll be sensitive to their feelings. We'll be very specific when you're talking about this, so they know what our goal is. So how do we start? How do we go about now having this conversation? One, make it part of a conversation. Yeah, bring it up when you are talking. You know, parents like giving us updates on things. When you visit them, when you're talking to them, they are always, oh, you know, auntie is doing this, or your uncle said this, or I watched this on the television. Now, those are the moments you start thinking, can I now ride on this conversation and bring up talking about money, talking about their physical health and what we need to be able to do around it. Yeah, that makes it easy. So for them as well, they also get to ease into the conversation. They don't feel like they're being put on the spot about their finances, or being put on the spot about their physical health. Yeah, and secondly, discuss the who. And this is if you're part of a sibling, yeah, if you have 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 10 siblings, it's best to consider the child-parent dynamics. Who amongst you is best suited to bring up this subject to the parent for the most outcome? You know, of all of you as your parents' children, there is that one who, if they sit with the parents and, you know, they'll be able to make them open up easily. Yeah. You will know if you sit and talk amongst yourself, you will know. You may be the one who came up with the idea. You got your siblings to buy into the idea that it's important. Let's talk. Let's get be on the same page with our parents and all that. But you may not be the one who's best placed to start that conversation, because the ultimate goal is for their benefit. You know, we are working as a team here. So whoever is best suited should be the one now to start that conversation. Yeah. Thirdly, I think as well, consider their viewpoint. We've said we're going to be sensitive to their feelings. Think about growing up. How were they? What was your parents' viewpoint, views when it came to discussing money? Did they, you know, openly discuss money with you as you're growing up? And if it was difficult then of course it's still going to be difficult now. So as we said, you know, patience, persistence, consistently, you know, trying to bring up the conversation, but in a respectful manner. Let them also get comfortable with the idea that yes, it's okay, and we should be having these conversations with our children. Yeah. Fourth, I think, is also try and do as much research as you can. Get relevant information. And sometimes in the process of sharing this information with your parents, you also get them to now start opening up and talking about it. Have you seen something that's going to maybe to benefit them in terms of any new news? Maybe there's a new health center that's opened close to them now. You know, talk about that. Maybe there's a new product that is being issued for them, new financial product that is, you know, being aimed at the aging the aging people in our societies. All these things, it's very easy then now, when you're sharing this information, they're like, oh yeah, we've also seen about it, or okay, tell us more about it. And through that, now the conversation starts and keeps flowing. Yeah. And fifth as well, I think, is share your own journey. Let them know that you're also thinking and looking into some of the issues that you're asking for you to talk about with them. Yeah, that it's not just because they are aging. Irrespective of age, we all have to prepare for some of these emergencies. You still have to prepare for any medical emergencies. We still have to think about retirement. And when you share what you're working on, how you're going about it, then, they're likely also now to come up and give you opinions and give you recommendations, and they start walking this journey with you. And through that, they also now start sharing, and you get to get even better insights on the experiences, and then now the conversation flows from there. Remember, it's also not a one-off conversation. It's something that needs to be ongoing, however difficult it is, because we have to keep each other in the loop. If you're siblings, you have to be able to keep each other in the loop. Whoever's have seen the parents, how are they now compared to the way they were a week, 2 weeks, a month down the line, and all that? And is there anything that we need to start thinking about to prepare for, and all that? Yeah. Very important. Let's keep having this conversation. And for me, I think these conversations give us two main benefits. One is peace of mind. Yeah. Peace of mind. Peace of mind for you, peace of mind for your parents, peace of mind for your siblings, peace of mind for everyone who's around in your financial circles, anyone who's dependent on you financially. Yeah. And when I say peace, financial peace, it's not that we gain that financial peace by knowing that we can afford, or we have this money set aside in case of any emergency, but it's the fact that we may not have the full financial capability now, but we are all, your aging parents, your siblings, your spouse, we are all working together to get to that point where we know if there's an emergency, this is what we'll be able to do, and we'll be able to weather it together. We are planning together, we are working together on this journey. That is what gives you financial peace, not just, being able to see, oh, now we have all the money that we'll ever need in case anything happens. No. You get more peace knowing that we are working on this journey together. Yeah, more financial peace. So make sure these conversations are happening and they're ongoing. Second benefit, really good, is you get to know what are the financial expectations. What are your parents expecting from you as their child in terms of the financial support that you accord them? And you as a child, being able to also openly and honestly communicate that this is the financial commitment I'm willing and comfortable making towards supporting you. Now, when that is clearly communicated, not just to your parents, but also with everyone else in this discussion, with your siblings and all that, then it avoids a lot of misunderstandings that normally arise in families. Yeah, because they know what you're capable of, and what the expectations are, and you are all aligned. Yeah, in all this. So when you think of this, that financial peace, that understanding and alignment in terms of financial expectations, I hope you're able to see that it's very, very important to have this conversation. Yeah. Let's keep them flowing. Let's talk to our parents. Let's talk to our siblings. Let's talk together as a family, our aging parents, us as siblings, with our spouses, and anyone else who is involved, who needs to be involved in these conversations. Let's talk about their physical health. Let's talk about their financial health, and let's talk about and be aligned on how we can all come together and plan for anything that in emergencies that may be able to arise, and be ready to deal with all that. Yeah. So that's it for today, family, from me on this topic. If you're listening to this today and you're blessed to have both your parents alive, or even just one, you can reach them, you can talk to them, you can interact with them. It's truly a blessing that we should not take lightly. Yeah. And make the most of it. I hope as well through this episode, you've come to the realization that, it's important to know how your parents are physically, financially, and hopefully you've also gotten a few pointers on how to go about starting and continuously having these conversations, who amongst us as children is the best suited to talk about this. Yeah, what's our parents' views? How do we go around that? All those tips. Yeah. So now it's to you. Set it in motion. Let's have these talks. Yeah. We are now counting down to Christmas and looking forward to ringing in the new year. So, dedicating the next episode to talking about financial goals because it is everywhere. You just need to look at the socials, hot discussion, especially around this time of the year. Everyone is starting to evaluate their 2023 goals. What have I been able to accomplish? What didn't I accomplish? Why did I not? Then making 2024 goals. What do we include in our goals? All these things. We're all thinking about this. So I believe it's the right time to be able to talk on this. So do join me for next week episode where we'll now be looking at financial goals 101. Yeah. Karibuni sana. That's it for today, family. Again, the Finance for Families podcast is here to ignite open, honest conversations about money and investing in our families. Let's get talking and empower each other for a better financial future. Thank you for joining me today, and see you on the next episode.